I have one kid named Demi Hutchins. I am a resident assistant and I work at the Villages of Westland. I don't think there's anything hard about being a mother. You kind of, after 9 months, you kind of prepare yourself on what you're going to be dealing with. But I guess the moment knowing that what had to be the hardest. I have 2 children named Charlie King. She's a girl, she's 4 years old. And Noah Hurston, who's a boy, he's 1 year old. As an assistant teacher at a Head Start agency and part-time as a waitress. I have my mother, who's very hands-on with my children. It's very rare that another person or family member would come and get my children other than grandparents. There's no balancing. So you just do what you can, the best way that you can. I guess they would consider that balancing, but that's the 4 words to use.
I have a total of 5 children. Brittany Agee, who is now 26. Alexis Beard, who is now 25. Ariel Beard, who is soon to be 23. Dion Agee, 18. And Damon Agee, 16. My first 3 daughters, I raised them on my own, but I married my son's father, and we've been married for a total of 19 years. So I do have experience in single parenting. Single parenting has its ups and downs, and it's not something that you want to do, but life throws you these hard balls, and so you have to deal with them accordingly. So with my daughters, I was in an abusive relationship, and so therefore I had to leave. And because I decided to choose my life and my children's life, I was left to raise my daughters on my own. At that time I was young, and I had at that time the government would help you, and I hadn't worked. I was a student at Highland Park Community College going to school to be a registered nurse, but when I decided to choose my life, I had to enter into the workforce, which was a change for me. And so at that time, I had to adapt to trying to go to school, go to work, and also take care of my daughters. I just believe that when you get caught in that situation of being a single parent, that you have to be determined to not be a statistic, and that has always been my motivation, was not to be a statistic. The hardest part of being a single mother is balancing, because I am the type of parent that like to be involved. And so it was hard for me going to work and then coming home and having to fix dinner, make sure they got their homework done, going to parent-teachers conferences alone, and especially when you go to parent-teachers conference and you see the 2 parents there, I would say that had to be one of the hardest things, because you're looking at other children and both of their parents is there, and you're the only parent that is active in the child's life. It wasn't me that balanced it. person who loves God. And so my life is based upon prayer. And it may sound cliche, but I constantly leaned on him for strength and wisdom as I do now. So it's him that gives me the wisdom to be balanced. It's him that gives me the wisdom on how to do things. It's him that gives me the direction on how to do it. Was I all the way balanced? Absolutely not. We make mistakes. We're humans. We make mistakes. And sometimes we make wrong choices, which we thought was best, and it didn't end up to be the best. But, God is a God that forgives. And so when I mess up, and when I messed up, I get back up and I'll keep going. So it was him that gave me the wisdom to balance school, balance going to work, and balance my children being able to go to school and good grades. My daughters, when they were in elementary and high school and middle school, they were honor students. So it was him. The benefit is when you see, as a single mother, your children didn't wind up as a statistic. The benefit of it was that they were my motivation. The benefit was they were my my children are my drive.
I have 2 children, ages 5 and 6. 2 boys. Their names are Kyan and Amari. I wake up at 5:45 every morning, and I get myself dressed and ready for work. And in the midst of me getting myself dressed and ready for work, I'm ironing uniforms. I'm making lunches for my kids for the morning. Then their dad comes and he take them to school. Their dad, he's in their lives. He's full-time. So he dropped them off at school and I pick them up. So we have a great connection, due to the children. I just try to balance out my life for theirs, that way they can have the best. The best part of being a mother, period, is just the love. It's something that you can't explain when it comes from your children. Just them needing me. That's the best part. Me being able to, for them to look at me like I am the best person in their lives. To them, I'm doing everything right. Trying to make sure you're doing the best that you can for your children.
Don't give up. Keep pushing. Let your children be your motivation.
So what I would say for young women, save yourself until you meet that man that loves you and respects you and want to build a life with you, not only by words but by action. So what I would say is that you can do it, but it's not something you want to do. And for young men, make sure you are wearing protection. It doesn't matter if the girl says she got the covered. You make sure that you are covered, because single parenthood is not an easy road, and it's not a joyful road either. So that would be my advice.